Are you tired, Leafs Nation? Tired of the same old story, the same agonizing questions, the same Stanley Cup dream that slips through our fingers like ice in July? For more than half a century, this city has breathed hockey, lived and died with every puck drop, every soaring expectation, and every crushing disappointment. The Scotiabank Arena isn't just a building. It's a cathedral of obsession, a cauldron of emotions, where the weight of history presses down heavier than ever as we look ahead to the 2025-26 season. This past offseason was anything but easy. The departure of Mitch Marner, one of our primary offensive engines, didn't just leave a hole in the stat sheet. It carved a chasm in the hearts of the faithful. The feeling, palpable and unsettling, is that Toronto has stepped onto the ice missing a fundamental piece of its very identity. With every round of the regular season, the same haunting questions echo among fans, analysts, and even within the hallowed halls of the locker room. Who will fill that void? Do the Leafs possess enough raw power, enough collective will, to compensate for the absence of one of the league's most creative players? Can Matthews and Nylander shoulder an even greater burden? And perhaps most crucially, will this team generate enough goals to go toe-to-toe with the Eastern Conference's formidable powerhouses? It's within this charged atmosphere, this desperate search for answers, that a single name begins to gain momentum, a whisper turning into a roar, capturing the attention of the hockey world. Rickard Rakell, a 32-year-old veteran from Sweden, originally drafted by the Anaheim Ducks in 2011 and currently plying his trade with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Here's a player who, after more than a decade in the cutthroat NHL, just delivered the most productive season of his career, defying expectations and father time himself. He notched an astounding 35 goals and 35 assists, totaling 70 points in 81 games. These are impressive numbers, truly remarkable for someone many believed was past his prime, a player whose best days were supposedly behind him. More than that, Rakell averaged a significant 19 minutes and 18 seconds of ice time per night, taking on major offensive responsibilities, proving unequivocally that he still operates at an elite level, a short-term solution perhaps, but a potent one. It didn't take long for the major outlets to start connecting the dots, to begin the tantalizing dance of speculation. Sarah Sivian, a respected voice writing for Bleacher Report, published in September a list of 6 bold trades that she believed could fundamentally shake up the season. And there, staring back at us from the digital page, was Toronto. Her suggestion was refreshingly straightforward, almost audacious. The Leafs should target Rakell as their next big move, a strategic acquisition to bolster their forward group. Rickard Rakell is another Penguin that Dubas kept who could bring back a solid return, Sivian penned, her words echoing the sentiment of many. The 32-year-old winger has 3 years remaining at a reasonable cap hit and scored 35 goals last season. He would be a great addition to any playoff team that needs 1 or 2 more scoring threats to boost their top 6. And let's be brutally honest, that description fits the Maple Leafs like a perfectly tailored glove. Toronto, remember, stood out this summer for losing a prolific scorer and then, frustratingly, failing to find an adequate replacement in the free agency frenzy. The math, as simple as it is stark, dictates that if you lose a Marner, you absolutely must find an answer of equal or at least comparable impact. And that answer, that desperately needed solution, could very well come in the form of Rickard Rakell. Of course, Rakell isn't the only player whose name has been whispered in connection with the Leafs. Winger Brian Rust, also from the Penguins roster, has been mentioned as a possible target for Toronto, with interest reportedly coming from other teams like the Buffalo Sabres and Columbus Blue Jackets as well. But when you put the two under the microscope, the comparison tends to favor Rakell, and decisively so. While Rust also posted a respectable 167 points over the past 3 seasons, the exact same total as Rakell in fact, his durability casts a longer, more questionable shadow. He appeared in 214 games compared to Rakell's 233 over that span. It may appear to be a small gap, just 17 games, a mere blip on the radar. But for a team like Toronto, a franchise that depends on unwavering consistency to build rhythm, to forge momentum, and to enter the playoffs in peak battle-ready form, that difference could be absolutely decisive. Rakell brings more than just raw numbers. He embodies a complete package. He's not merely a finisher, a pure goal scorer. He's a remarkably smart forward who possesses an innate understanding of how to move without the puck, how to create precious space for his teammates, and how to seamlessly adapt to diverse offensive systems. His career trajectory is a testament to that versatility. In Anaheim, he often carried first-line responsibilities, operating as an offensive centerpiece, the focal point of the attack. In Pittsburgh, alongside generational talents like Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin, he brilliantly reinvented himself as a high-level complementary player, proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that he can fit anywhere, in any role, with any line mates. That adaptability, that proven flexibility, is what makes the speculation surrounding him so incredibly intriguing for the Leafs. So, how exactly would Rickard Rakell fit into the intricate puzzle that is the Toronto Maple Leafs? Analyst Michael D. Rosa from Hockey News has already painted a vivid picture of the scenario. According to his insightful projections, Rakell could effortlessly slide into the top line alongside the lethal Austin Matthews and the burgeoning Matthew Knies, creating a formidable, potentially devastating trio. Imagine it. Matthews with his unparalleled game-breaking shot, Knies as a young power forward bringing raw energy and imposing size, and Rakell, the seasoned veteran, providing his invaluable experience and that crucial scoring touch. On paper, that line could be absolutely devastating, a nightmare for opposing defenses. But if Nylander were to push for that coveted first-line spot, Rakell could still anchor the second unit alongside the ever-reliable John Tavares, adding a much-needed layer of balance and giving the Leafs the kind of offensive depth they haven't truly possessed in years. The central issue, the undeniable truth, remains: the Leafs desperately need goals. They need someone who can step onto the ice and make an immediate, tangible impact. Someone who can alleviate some of the immense weight from Matthews and Nylander, who cannot and should not be expected to carry the entire offense alone. And Rakell, by all accounts, looks precisely like that type of player. Delving deeper into his game, the Swede offers a plethora of attributes that Toronto currently lacks. He can be a dynamic option on the power play, ready for those quick-release shots from the offensive zone that can change the complexion of a game in an instant. He can log heavy minutes at even strength without ever becoming a defensive liability, a crucial factor in today's fast-paced NHL. And perhaps most importantly, he provides what Toronto has long searched for, often fruitlessly, in the trade market: reliability in the biggest moments, when the stakes are highest and the pressure is suffocating. But of course, there's always a question of cost, the inevitable price tag. What would Toronto have to surrender? What future assets would they need to sacrifice to acquire Rakell's services? Pittsburgh, currently in the midst of a partial rebuild, would undoubtedly demand promising young players or high draft picks in return. The Leafs management, under intense scrutiny, would need to carefully weigh the inherent risk of trading away future assets for a 32-year-old, even one in such excellent career best form. It's a classic dilemma, a timeless struggle in professional sports. Do you go all in on the present, sacrificing tomorrow for today, or do you steadfastly protect the future, hoping for a brighter, more sustainable path? Even with that very real risk, the scenario is undeniably tempting. Picture a grueling playoff series against the Boston Bruins or the Tampa Bay Lightning. Matthews is smothered, relentlessly covered by opposing defenders, his space completely taken away. Suddenly, almost magically, Rakell finds open ice on the weak side, perfectly positioned, ready to unleash the shot that decides a game, that swings a series. That's the type of difference maker, the clutch performer, that Toronto desperately needs. They don't just require depth. They need players who can genuinely tilt the ice in their favor when the pressure is at its absolute zenith. And it's impossible not to compare this possible, game-changing move to Toronto's recent, soul-crushing frustrations. Season after season, the Leafs enter with sky-high expectations, only to stumble, to falter, in the early rounds of the postseason. Could Rickard Rakell truly be the missing piece, the final puzzle piece, to finally rewrite that agonizing story? Could he be the crucial link that transforms a good team into a true, legitimate contender, capable of going all the way? Fans in Toronto know, perhaps better than anyone, that nothing comes easy here. Every rumor becomes a screaming headline. Every single decision is magnified, dissected, and debated under an unforgiving spotlight. But maybe, just maybe, this is a moment to take that bold, decisive step to transform Marner's painful departure into a pivotal turning point, rather than merely a sign of weakness. In the end, Rickard Rakell isn't just a name on a trade board. He represents a choice. The choice of a team that might finally decide about everything on the present, and perhaps, just perhaps, finally write a different ending to this long, arduous saga. The real, burning question that hangs heavy in the air, the one that will dominate discussions for weeks to come, is this: are the Leafs truly ready to take that monumental step? Toronto needs goals. It needs answers. It needs boldness, a willingness to gamble. And Rickard Rakell could be exactly that. But is he enough? That, my friends, is a question every single fan will carry in their hearts and minds until this story finds its thrilling or perhaps heartbreaking conclusion. What do you think, Leafs Nation? Is Rickard Rakell the answer we've been waiting for? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video if you're as excited as we are about the possibilities.